Getting vaccines to rural areas makes for quite the trek. We'll take you along on the journey to distribution through northern Minnesota. Plus,
the Better Business Bureau says COVID-19 scams are on the rise. Tonight, we tell you what you need to know.
And the turmoil among small and big investors continues as an airline becomes the next point of interest. And later, we're getting an update on a unique item students in Northwest Wisconsin chose to send to space.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Welcome to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look over the city of Duluth on this Friday. Today, results from trials of another vaccine came out, but the struggle of getting doses to rural areas is becoming more of an obstacle than expected. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kristen Bakke. Tonight we're learning Johnson & Johnson says its vaccine appears to protect against COVID-19 with just one shot. It's not as strong as some two-shot rivals, but still potentially helpful for a world in dire need of more doses. Results released today show the single-shot vaccine was 66% effective overall at preventing moderate to severe illness and much more protective against the most serious symptoms. The vaccine worked better in the U.S. compared to South Africa, where it was up against a tougher mutated virus. The company says it will file an application for emergency use soon in the U.S. and then abroad. As vaccines become available, the challenge of getting them to rural areas becomes more clear. Tonight, we follow a convoy of COVID-19 vaccines on their long journey to get from the distribution point to towns in rural America, including Minnesota. Omar Jimenez takes us along.
And we're not just talking about a few miles to a suburb. We're talking about hundreds of miles.
Right. We are talking about hundreds of miles.
In rural America, the journey to administering a COVID-19 vaccine is a long one.
Our couriers travel many, many miles. Our physicians, our staff travel miles. Many of the providers in those rural areas live there. But then also we do send some out from other areas to meet the needs of that population.
In Bemidji, Minnesota, the vaccine's journey starts with being packed up in coolers, constantly monitored for temperature.
Storage requirements for freezer temperature, refrigeration temperature, and they're only good for 5 days once we pull them out of that ultra-cold freezer. So that data logger is a piece of equipment that monitors the temperature during transport until they get to a refrigerator at their hospital. It's nice to play offense for a change.
Once they're secured and ready to go, the next step is getting in a minivan and driving.
Snow or shine, these couriers are within a network responsible for covering hundreds of miles of road. This route alone that we're following is just under 100 miles, all just to get vaccine in the position to be administered.
This drive is going from Bemidji eventually to a town called Thief River Falls, Minnesota, right around 70 miles from the Canadian border. Nationwide, rural Americans live an average of more than 10 miles from the nearest hospital, and this region has the longest average travel time to the nearest one than any other part of the country, according to Pew Research. And these courier routes are within a larger network from Sanford Health that covers more than 200,000 square miles across multiple states, anchored by just 5 locations drivers launch from that can actually store the vaccine for them. And when it arrives, fresh from the minivan, it's not flashy. It's just a guy in a jacket walking into a hospital with temperature-monitored coolers in his hands. But in a small town like Thief River Falls, population around 9,000, it means everything, especially since they thought they had avoided the pandemic, until they didn't. And staff tell us at one point, most of their inpatients were COVID patients, in a town where everyone knows everyone.
We've always thought that, nobody dies alone. The family is a huge part of their care, their emotional and physical well-being, and then not being able to have them here. It's been the hardest thing.
And these aren't just patients, you feel like they're part of your family.
Exactly.
It's an awful feeling. Skolarski hopes goes away forever.
My hope is with this vaccine is that we can get that back,
Hi, welcome, come on in.
I think it's something we in the past have really taken for granted, you know, to walk into the hospital and visit our loved ones.
And that same feeling of hope persists, no matter the population density and no matter the distance, as part of that long journey for the vaccine.
In Wisconsin, the state says it almost distributed 500,000 doses of a COVID-19 vaccine. During a press briefing this morning, Governor Tony Evers and health officials reported 91,000 Wisconsinites have been fully vaccinated. Even though supply has been limited, they were able to give out 45,000 doses on Thursday. Evers also responded to state lawmakers' recent decision not to strike down his mask mandate.
I know what the speaker said, but until it's done, it's not done, and we still have a mask mandate in the state of Wisconsin.
Evers is once again asking for patience when it comes to the vaccine as the state waits for more resources from the federal government. Wisconsin is currently vaccinating healthcare workers, long-term care workers, and those 65 and older. A reminder that the Fond du Lac Band is holding a COVID-19 vaccine clinic again tomorrow. Fond du Lac elders 52 and older are eligible. So are members of other tribes within the area and their partners. You can make an appointment by calling 218-878-3791. That number is also on your screen and on our website. Appointments will be held at the Fond du Lac Ojibwe School Gym. No walk-ins are allowed. The band plans to open additional clinics once more doses are available. Well, scams are on the rise as the pandemic continues. According to the Wisconsin Better Business Bureau, 66% of people have reported losing money due to a COVID scam from March to December of 2020. Now, as the vaccine rollout continues, CBS3's Emma Quinn explains how you can identify scammers claiming to have an appointment for you if only you'll share your private information.
The Wisconsin Better Business Bureau reports that scammers are getting to work as COVID-19 vaccines are being distributed. They say you should be aware of who's contacting you and why. BBB officials say most scams are happening online through emails or advertisements on social media like Facebook and Instagram. These advertisements may be offering you a reservation or early access to a vaccine. Typically, they'll ask for personal information like Social Security, Medicare, or bank numbers. Jim Temmer, CEO of Wisconsin's Better Business Bureau, says in a time like the pandemic, scammers are preying on everyone.
People have lost jobs and lost loved ones to this. To think that there are people out there trying to take advantage of this and make money off of it really is disheartening.
Temmer adds to always look at the website. If it's an official government website, it will have the .gov or .us at the end, and it's best to delete emails that don't look right or not answer the phone if you don't recognize the number. Temmer adds if you have any questions or concerns about the vaccine process, it's best to contact your primary care or local health departments as they can give you the most accurate information.
Thanks, Emma. We also spoke with the Minnesota Department of Health about this today. They say a vaccine will either be covered by your insurance or it will be free, so no legitimate vaccinators will ask you for money. They added that most people will be vaccinated by a doctor in their own healthcare system. You can verify any vaccination sites on the health department's website. Organizers were hard at work today preparing for the Lake Superior Ice Festival. The 5th annual festival kicks off tomorrow on Barker's Island in Superior. It will feature more than 25 ice sculptures. Organizers say the festival will have something for everybody to enjoy.
There's a cube tournament, a 9-hole disc golf course, of course the Superior Snow Slide, which is always a fan favorite as well, and bonfires and food and beverages.
The event kicks off at 9 tomorrow morning and lasts through Sunday. For more information and a full list of events, you can head to our website, CBS3Duluth.com. Dave joins us now for a first look at the weather. I mean, I couldn't complain this morning. It felt like a heat wave, at least up on the range.
Yeah, and even here in Duluth, it started sunny, but not bitterly cold. It was fairly mild. But already the clouds are filtering in as a low pressure system gets closer to our region to set us up for a chance for weekend snow. And the heaviest of the snow likely will be in the central and western parts of Minnesota, just butting up against our region. So southern part of Aitkin County is facing a winter weather advisory. And with lake enhancement, the North Shore could get some fairly decent snow totals. Winter weather advisory for those folks as well. The rest of us will get lighter snows. So we see the map right now showing that clouds are increasing as the low gets closer to us. And it is indeed pretty close to the region. It's in South Dakota. So the chance for snow begins later on tonight, continues through Saturday, and winds up on Sunday morning. We take a look at our short-term forecast, which says the chance for snow is a 50-50 shot here tonight, and a 50% chance through Saturday morning, falling towards 40% by Saturday afternoon and evening. By the time things wrap up on Sunday, well, we could have a few inches of snow. I'll show you how many inches of snow that means coming up in just a couple more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. Still to come on Live at 5, a local newspaper brings home over 24 awards and a new art exhibit opens in Cook County. More on that after the break as we take you around the Northland, city by city.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS3. When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3 for up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Hi, I'm Steve Little, owner of Your Home Improvement Company. 2020 was an unbelievable year for all of us. As a family-owned and operated business, we have been doing our best to stay focused on you this past year with our zero interest and zero payments until 2022 program. Thank you for allowing us to assist you in updating your most lived-in asset during this difficult time, your home. From all of us at Your Home Improvement Company, Bath Planet, and my family to yours, have a healthy, happy, and safe new year.
Your students, your patients, your customers, your family. You've got a lot of people relying on you. And that's why you trust Mediacom. With 99.99% proven network reliability, Mediacom keeps your home and business running. We know when your internet works, your life works. So we work around the clock to ensure you get the most reliable connection possible.
Hi, John with Prime Appliance, and this is one of the best times of the year to buy appliances because manufacturers are sending us their new models weekly, and we need the room, so we're closing out last year's models at rock-bottom prices. Get closeout premium quality built-in dishwashers with sanitizing temperature boost. Bosch starting at $498 and Asco at just $697. Financing always available. Have our pros deliver and install or take it home today. Prime Appliance is the best place to buy your appliances.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota compact and subcompact tractors. Our reliable #1 selling tractors are designed for easy operation and feature all the performance-matched attachments needed to tackle any job. Right now, get 0 down and 0% APR for 60 months, plus save up to $1,000.
No one serves you better than Lula Gentleman.
Wash your hands. Wear a mask.
Mantén distancia.
Stay home when you're sick.
Slow the spread.
We can do this together.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Spirit Mountain as we head into the weekend. Dave will have your full forecast in just a few minutes, but first, let's see what's happening in your neighborhood. A local newspaper won several awards last night, and a new art exhibit has opened in Grand Marais. All of that and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. We'll start tonight in Ashland, Wisconsin, where the Moores on Main clothing store has been named one of 5 finalists in Wisconsin's Main Street Makeover contest. The annual contest put on by the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation awards $10,000 in storefront upgrades to the winning business. Finalists were chosen based on their business record, the vision for their business, and the potential a makeover has to positively impact their Main Street district. The winner will be announced in mid-February. Next, we head to Cloquet, where the Pine Knot News was a big winner last night at the Minnesota Newspaper Association's Professional Better Newspaper Contest. The event was held virtually this year, and the Pine Knot took home the Mills Trophy. The award goes to the top weekly print publication. In only their second year of eligibility, they also won 22 individual awards across several categories. We'll wrap up tonight in Grand Marais, Minnesota at the Johnson Heritage Post Art Gallery. A new exhibit opened there today called Potluck of Art. 27 artists from in and around the Grand Marais community put together a mix of their works after a previously planned exhibit had to withdraw. Gallery manager Elizabeth Davis says the exhibit really represents the art community many have come to know and love in Grand Marais. The exhibit is free and open to all with COVID protocols in place. Potluck of Art will run Thursdays through Sundays until February 28th. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city. Still to come on Live at 5, we check in on unique items that took a trip out of this world in December. What changes the students who sent them have seen after the break.
And if you're reading the Pine Knot this weekend, look for my weekly forecast on page 2. It's there every week. It tells you what's going on for the weekend, just like I'm going to do after our break. Well, I'll talk about the temperatures today, getting up towards 22, which is a little warmer than normal. It'll stay warmer than normal through the weekend, and that could help induce a bit of snow for our region. We'll look at the latest snow chart coming up after just a couple more minutes.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Station KBJR Television, Inc., an equal opportunity employer, is dedicated to providing broad outreach regarding job vacancies at the station. We seek the help of local organizations in referring qualified applicants to our station. Organizations that wish to receive our vacancy information should contact Caleb at KBJR Television, Inc. by calling 218-720-9600. If you are interested in launching your career in any of Quincy Media's 16 television markets, apply for our paid Quinternship program by visiting QuincyMediaCareers.com/Quinternships.
I'm Caitlin and I'm into nursing. We have small class sizes, so we actually get to know each other, know our instructors. All of the faculty at Lake Superior College, they're here to help you succeed and choose the right path.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day.
Watch Eye on Mining with Kristen Vaki every Tuesday at 10. Brought to you by Iron Mining Association, Range Regional Airport, and Miners National Bank of Evelyn. Only on live, local CBS3.
I don't think any other year is ever going to be like 2020. I never thought that I would go through something like this ever in my life. This pandemic's not a isolated thing to our country or to our state or to our city. This is something that's affecting the world, and that just shows really how interconnected we all are. I think that's why news is so important, because news is kind of like that lifeline to kind of bring that information out and bring us all together.
Watch Jenna and Caitlin in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m. Some things are just too important to leave out of your morning routine. Make sure we aren't one of them. Live, local, CBS3, a great way to start your day.
It is the question that matters the most. Without it, our purpose, and our freedom fade. This is why.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3 for up-to-date coverage morning and night. Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
After several days of a cold snap, temperatures started to warm. It even got bright and sunny, and instead of going towards an Arctic chill like often happens when it's bright out in January, it got warmer and very beautiful in the sky. A picture of a halo comes courtesy of our dear friend Rhonda here. But a halo is often a sign of moisture up aloft, which can be an indicator of a fresh low-pressure system coming our way, and that's exactly what's happening. So the clouds have gone back up, and later on tonight through the weekend, we could be getting snow. Taking a look at current conditions to set the stage here, we'll eye up the conditions from Duluth International, where it's 22 above, 22 degrees above zero. That's a nice break. 68% for the relative humidity. East wind 18 miles per hour, so it's not bitterly cold, but it is awfully windy. So if it was bitterly cold, I'm sure we'd be dealing with a wind chill advisory, but we're not. Still gusty, though, and likely will stay gusty through tomorrow. Air pressure, 30.27 inches of mercury. Not as high as yesterday, still on the higher side now, but will be decreasing as a low from South Dakota conquers our sky and sends barometer readings down for a couple of days. Current temps, 21 Watersmeet, 23 in Ironwood, and we're looking at a range of 24 to 27 degrees in northwestern Wisconsin, 24 in Hayward to 27 in Solon Springs. Superior's coming in at 25, so is LaPointe. Not so bad, though, either in Ashland at 24. 23 right now, Moose Lake and Two Harbors. And Eveleth, Virginia. 21, Hibbing, a little cooler in Grand Rapids, upper teens towards Ely, and low 20s in International Falls. With cloud cover coming in, low temps will stay up overnight tonight and will be well into the teens above zero, maybe even lower 20s for a couple of towns, along with our chance for snow that's breezing in. Not really with us right now, but the situation will be changing here as our low pressure system from South Dakota does come our way. The chance for snow, especially in Minnesota on Saturdays, 50%. Maybe 30 to 40% for Wisconsin. And then it comes down to about a 40% shot overnight Saturday into Sunday morning. Then what's going to happen, of course, the low will push away and a dry period comes to call for Monday and for Tuesday before our next low pressure system brings us a chance for a rain and snow mix, perhaps by Wednesday and Thursday. But for the weekend system, how much are we going to get? Well, I've been preaching 2 to 4 inches just about all week long, and it still looks like that's what most folks are going to be getting, 2 to 4 inches of fresh snow. Though up the North Shore, again, because of the winter weather advisory for folks there, we could be going up towards 5 inches for a couple of towns in that neck of the woods. And don't be too surprised if we push 6 here and there. Well, tonight, temperature-wise in Minnesota, we should be going from the teens to the lower 20s. 16 inland, especially around Ely and Babbitt, to 23 by Park Point and the western neighborhoods of Duluth. 50% chance for snow, 50% shot in Wisconsin as well. Low temps there, 17 to 19 above. For tomorrow, Wisconsin, Michigan, very close to 30 degrees with a 50% chance for the light snows there. And a 50% chance for mostly light snow, but vaguely moderate snow as well for the North Shore there in Minnesota. High temps 27 to 30. Extended forecast shows when the snow chance departs on Monday, we don't get another Arctic outbreak. It stays fairly mild. And then we cleanse our palate Monday and Tuesday, gird our loins for the next system on Wednesday and Thursday, which may have a little more rain mixed in with the snow. So that could be a bit of a slippery mess come Wednesday and Thursday. As usual, we will track both systems for you here until we're finished with them.
All right, thanks, Dave. An update tonight on a fish's trip to outer space. Back in December, the Lakota Ojibwe School in Hayward was granted the opportunity to send something into space. They decided to send rainbow trout eggs to see the effect low gravity had on them. Now that the eggs have returned to Earth, they noticed a few differences than the control group that stayed on the ground.
We found out the ones from space were clear and kind of like jelly.
They did see a visual difference on the eggs, but they still are unable to conclude that that was caused by low gravity alone. They have not made any discoveries just yet, but they are thrilled to have had this experience.
Well, that's been one of the biggest things for the kids, is to actually hold something that was in space, that was at the International Space Station, and that the astronauts held, and that they did the same work as the astronauts.
Ansel says there are still more questions than answers right now, and they will most likely be working on the project for the rest of the school year. Dozens of sled dog teams are itching to get to the starting line of this year's John Bear Grease Marathon. Luckily, they don't have long to wait as the big sled dog race kicks off on Sunday. Teams will leave from Billy's Bar and are expected to finish near Grand Portage sometime Tuesday afternoon, depending on trail conditions. No spectators are allowed this year due to COVID-19, but we will be bringing you coverage from along the race course starting Sunday night at 10 o'clock right here on CBS3. Still to come, overall, the stock market is down today, but GameStop saw a huge midday surge. How small investors are still shaking things up after the break.
Mariah Haberman here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and discoverwisconsin.com. Plus, subscribe to the Cabin Podcast, available wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
things are just too important to leave out of your day. Make sure we aren't one of them. Live, local, CBS3.
What are you? Some kind of ex-cop?
I'm the one you call when you can't call 911. They betrayed me.
You don't want these guys as your enemy.
They don't want me as theirs.
Watch The Equalizer, February 7th after the Super Bowl on CBS.
Our schools provide so much more than just learning support.
The school year didn't start out the way that we wanted it to, but who's to say it won't be better at the end?
We need to slow the spread so our economy has a chance to recover.
So our kids can be in school and be on the ice.
And we can keep our friends and families safe. For our students and teachers.
For our essential workers.
For the people you love.
Thank you for doing your part. Go Hunters!
When most people have ended their day,
ours is just starting. Good morning. I'm Jenna Wells.
When news and weather happen overnight, we're there.
As stories break in your neighborhood,
you can count on us to bring you the details.
For scores and more, we've got you covered. Hi, I'm Kelly Hinsett.
Why? Because the news that matters to you matters to us.
Plus, this is our home, too.
We're live.
We're local. We're CBS3.
It is the question that matters the most, that takes you behind the story.
It is a new day in America.
It drives everything we do. It is the foundation of trust and the truth that propels us forward.
What did you make of that?
It is the question. One word, 3 letters long. And without it, our purpose...
Don't forget this moment. Don't forget it.
And our freedom fade. This is why.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Join us weeknights for Live at 5 as we go around the Northland, city by city. GameStop's stock is back to the races today, and the overall U.S. market is down again as the saga that's captivated and confused Wall Street ramps up the drama. GameStop shot up more than 70% in midday trading, clawing back most of its steep loss from the day before after Robinhood said it will allow customers to start buying some of the stock again. GameStop has been on a stupefying run this month and becoming the battleground where swarms of smaller investors see themselves making an epic stand against the financial elite. The S&P 500 was down 1.5%. But GameStop isn't the only company being impacted by this. American Airlines has seen its stock rise this week as it got caught up in the turmoil between small investors and market traders who are betting against the company. With the share price a little higher, American struck a new deal with bankers on today to sell more than $1.1 billion in new shares.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, a special story as we go on the road with Steve Hartman. Why these two friends never miss their weekly walk and high five. That and more news tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Change the future of medicine from the convenience of home. Join the All of Us research program to help improve health research and speed up medical breakthroughs. Visit essentialhealth.org/allofus to learn more.
Still a traffic jam. Just better views. Still your to-do list. Just getting more done. Still packing up. Just a little easier. The Chevy Silverado, making life's journey just better.
Right now, get $4,750 cash allowance on this 2021 Silverado. Plus, current Chevy owners with an eligible GM credit card get an additional $1,750 total allowance. Visit TrueNorthChevyDealers.com.
Brewery owners and lawmakers are fighting to overturn the growler cap so you can bring your favorite brews home.
Coming up tonight, as COVID-19 scams are on the rise, what the Better Business Bureau wants you to be aware of.
Local news and local weather here on CBS3.
Epilepsy can affect anyone with a brain.
It does not discriminate.
If you have a brain,
You can get epilepsy.
But here's something that's just as important to know.
anyone with a brain can affect epilepsy.
So let's use our brains to do just that.
Let's change the way people think about epilepsy.
To find cures.
Because if all of us can get epilepsy,
All of us
Can end epilepsy.
We just need to use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains to end epilepsy.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northlands still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Bakke, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining, a fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Bakke. Tuesdays at 10 only on live local CBS3. Brought to you by Iron Mining Association. Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men, celebrating 30 years in business in 2021 with 30% off store-wide, downtown Duluth.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Canal Park on this Friday evening. Let's take a look back at today's top story and we'll see what's coming up tonight at 6. Tonight we learned about the journey the COVID-19 vaccine makes to rural communities across America and how Johnson & Johnson's one-dose vaccine, while not as strong as the others, could still help in stopping the pandemic. Although at this point, officials have not given a timeline on if or when it could be available. And tonight at 6, hear how lawmakers are planning to change the 2-year-old law restricting how many growlers breweries can sell. That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is next. We'll see you right back here at 6.